For as long as we can remember, there has been concrete separation of men versus women in relationships and the roles that they carry throughout. Dating back to the 1900s and possibly before, women are seen as inferior in relationships and throughout society. The ways in which women are viewed and treated are unfair. Women have very specific expectations of them in their daily lives and in their personal relationships. The way in which society views women needs to be changed. Women need to be seen as individual beings who are just as capable of taking care of themselves as they do everyone else. To begin, we must demonstrate the ideas of doing gender. The concept of doing gender is ideally focused on gender differences and how we as a society create them and undo them. This concept, which was brought to light by Weston Zimmerman, is defined as involving the everyday performance of a complex of socially guided perceptual, interactional, and micropolitical activities that cast particular pursuits as expressions of masculine and feminine natures. You can think of this as how men and women act differently in society and how these performances shape our ideas as a society on how men and women are expected to act. The traditions and ideas of heterosexual relationships are different all over the world and throughout different religions. The basic ideas behind dating remain traditional and often reinforce gender inequality. With focus on the ideas behind sexual relations within these heterosexual relationships, we can compare how different parts of society view women's roles in the situation. If we were to sit down and compare American women and Dutch women, we would be presented with some major differences. When American women first start out exploring their sexuality and getting involved in personal relationships, it creates a giant stigma. American women are seen as derogatory terms when they begin embracing their sexual natures. These women are often shamed and ridiculed. Meanwhile, Dutch women are treated the opposite. Dutch women are not shamed by others when they begin their sexual exploration, and in a way, they are praised. In the Netherlands, women are expected to be mothers. These women are assumed to fall in love and start their families with their partners right away. Although these concepts are different, in both locations women have expectations that they are supposed to follow, and when those expectations are not met is when women are ridiculed. American women are expected to stay abstinent as long as possible, and Dutch women are expected to become mothers as soon as possible. On the other hand, men in both the United States and the Netherlands are not focused on. They are not shamed for exploring their sexual nature, and they have no expectations of them. When it comes to relationships, a major part of that is the courting. Traditionally, in the courting phase, women are the ones to be courted by the man. The man must appear to be the protector, he must be the superior, and the breadwinner. Women are supposed to appear small, fragile, and weak, yet they are expected to do everything a man will not do for himself. Men are the ones responsible for paying, making decisions, deciding if the relationship should progress, and eventually proposing marriage. The women are expected to sit back and react to these acts appropriately. This often leads to men making all the major decisions throughout the relationship and women having to sit back and accept that their partner is right, with no say of their own. Women are expected to not challenge these beliefs and create questions about their partner's manhood. After the courting phase, ideally when the husband is ready financially, couples begin trying for children. When a woman births a man's child, the expectations of her are increased, and now she must care for her child, her husband, and herself last. One of the largest issues against women during pregnancy is the view that women are a threat to their babies. If you were to ask any mother what other people acted like during her pregnancy, most, if not all, would tell you that they were shamed or judged at some point. Pregnant women are monitored very closely, and every little move that they make is dissected and evaluated by the people around them. Pregnant women are constantly told how to handle their pregnancy, what to do with their newborn, and how to raise their child. If a mother were to implement her own ideas, she would be judged. Mothers are unable to make decisions on their own regarding their own children, although society preaches mother knows best. When there are issues during pregnancy, labor, or even after birth, the blame is almost always put on the mother and what she did wrong. Instead of empowering women for creating life, we as a society critique their every move and fathers get to sit back and watch. The sad reality of this is that women are only treated and viewed this way in their personal relationships. Women are seen like this by society as a whole. Women are expected to look, act, and behave in very specific ways. They are expected to appear proper and put together for men. These ideas are shown through advertising, the workforce, and their overall image. Women go through their everyday routine seeing advertisements targeted specifically to them all over the place. The sad reality is that these ads are portraying a very specific version of a woman. Advertisements focus on improving women's looks through their weight loss, beauty products, and more. The body image issues that these create for women can be talked about in a whole other video. These ads are created to show women what they're expected to look like. Advertisers are getting more and more personal with their ideas. They have started creating beauty products that exploit images of food to gain the attention of hungry consumers, promoting the idea that we must nourish our faces before our mouths. If you were to take a look at women's versus men's advertising, women's focus on improving the bad and making it better, while men's focus on how to make the good even better. Marketing for women is solely based on making women better for men. When it comes to the workforce, women are expected to handle the desk jobs. It is more common to see women working alongside other women than working alongside men. Within these jobs, women are expected to uphold their appearances. This is why many women are turned down for trade jobs and any job that would require them to get dirty. However, women in the workforce has improved over the years, and more women are entering jobs that are unexpected of them. One of the most upsetting topics, I believe, is when women change their natural bodies for men. There have been numerous instances where women are getting reconstructive surgeries on their private regions because they do not look like the ones that they see in the media. Women are so conditioned to feel the need to look perfect for men that they are getting surgeries on their natural anatomies. Lastly, one of the worst topics is that of rape and rape that occurs within relationships. It is not a topic widely discussed, but there are instances that occur inside relationships that women rub off. Men are known to be openly sexual in nature, and sometimes they use this to advantage with their partners. It is upsetting to think about, and it is very unfortunate. The way women are perceived and expected to act within their romantic relationships is unfair and unjust. We have to make a difference and change these views because, frankly, it is 2020 and we are all equal, so let's act like it. The first step must start in the courting phase. We must break the traditional ways of courting and allow women to make the moves or call the shots as well. The relationship should be an equal 50-50 and no one should feel belittled. Women must begin to stand up for themselves and make individual moves. Women cannot be afraid to get the degree and get the job. They should not expect that they must be a stay at home mom, and we should also start to normalize the idea of stay at home dads. However, all the change cannot be set just on the women. Men must also change their views. This is no longer the 50s, times have changed, and men need to better educate themselves on non traditional relationship agreements. Women Women have come a long way with how much they let society control them and make their decisions for them. And to that, I say, keep empowering your fellow woman. We still have a long way to go, but we're headed in the right direction.